Hey folks, how you doing out there today? Hope it's all going well. I am gonna say I'm having a pretty good day so far. Had a really good week working on the map, got more time in than I have in the past couple weeks, and have mainly been focused on the main town area, adding in some more like subdivisions and houses and school, buildings, stores, just all the little creature comforts you'd find in a town that just gonna add to the immersion for everyone driving around. Gonna be lots of roleplay options in this, and I think this populated slightly more, well, quite a bit more refined populated area is going to go nicely with the Outback Heavy Hauling map, the first one that I put out, which is pretty barren and there isn't a lot out there, and I think it's going to go well, the two maps together. This one it's taking quite a bit of time. I'm spending a lot more time on the little stuff this week especially, but I just want to get back to, as I've said before, a map more like the highway hauling region that just has a lot of detail in it. There's a lot of, I want it to feel like you're driving around a real town, and lots of options. Like I say, lots of houses. There's only so many housing models, but I've really tried to mix things up and mash it together, different models, and just try to make all the houses look a little different. We're going to run through the town. I've put up a lot of the signage and lighting and all sorts of stuff like that. So if you've seen previous videos, if you haven't, check it out. But you're going to see when we come through here, there's going to be a bunch of new areas towards the end of the road. And a lot of this is just going to look a little bit more lived in and a little more realistic. I haven't done anything with the, I bet you there's probably 20 houses scattered throughout this little town, and I haven't done anything on that. I've added in like that farm store there and a few things out front for sale. Started in, there's a hotel back there. All the parking spots and lighting and stuff. That's going to be the food mart, the kind of funny colored place over there. Gas station starting to add in again the parking spots and the lighting and so on, and all the little things that, again, you might not notice when you're looking at it, but you certainly notice when you play the game and they're not there. Still have tons and tons of stuff to do. This little stuff takes a lot of time because you can't really, each place is different, or at least if you're doing it right, each place should be different. So you kind of got to go at each one individually, and this week I just spent a ton of time trying to finish off this town right along this lakefront and stuff. You guys have seen in previous videos. It's just a little more filled in, but this area is where I've spent quite a bit of time this week, and it's building this little subdivision of houses, laying in the sidewalks, all the lighting and the wires that go with that. I never used to put the wires in. Sometimes I find them kind of annoying with the camera and that, but it adds to the look, so I figured I might as well do it. Little park play area there. Again, none of these houses, they're just houses set in spot. I have to fill in all the little things after, which is going to take quite a bit of time. But as you can see, even with the few housing models I have, I've really tried to mix it up and make them look a little different and lay them out differently. Little apartment type building, I think right there is what I was going for. Up here we're going to have a few stores, which some of these stores will be part of tasks. Some of them will just be there for something to look at. Same with the houses. I'm going to work in a few little tasks with those if I can. If nothing else, maybe a vehicle recovery spot, unload. That's a big store there, which is going to have some cargo at it. We're just coming up, there's like a small school. I kind of had maybe a few ideas that I could put into some missions for the school, perhaps, like a couple cargo things. Not really totally sure yet, but gonna play around with some ideas. Just make rough point notes as I'm building, and really the next stage after this is opening up the first map, making a copy, and then I have to basically start laying out what's going to happen for tasks that involve both maps. And in the end, I usually end up opening 2 versions of the browser and having a map on each, but I have 16 gigs of RAM, and I think I use about 12 and a half, 13 when I open 2 full-size maps, so limitations, but it gets tough when you're working on a 4-map region. Don't even want to try to explain how complicated that gets. And yeah, anyways, I'm looking forward to getting this region. It's probably still a couple weeks away, but getting the region actually finished, I'm pretty excited about giving the long hauls and really doing some justice to that first map. So now I'm just going to do a few overhead shots so you can see a bit of the progress that I've been working on in the last few days and few weeks, really. A lot of this, a few of the bigger areas I'll just do kind of an overhead. So this is the whole shoreline trailer store we just went past. That's kind of the houses and factories out front with the port area, which is going to be a place we're going to travel to quite a few times. I'm going to try and spread out some of the loading. Some of the factories are just going to kind of be there and they won't really have loading, but just selling the experience. This is the main downtown that's going to have a few contracts and whatnot to find there. A few hidden vehicles possibly. And this is just another overhead view of kind of the main river channel gorge that runs through a good chunk of the map. And this is really gonna show what most of the map's gonna look like on this. And yeah, I'm just really hoping that it goes well with the first map being out in the middle of nowhere. This is a more civilized, more populated area, and just kind of putting them together should work out real well. Thanks as always for watching. I really appreciate, especially if you're still here right now, and hopefully have a new update out real soon. Thanks a lot.